On the commercial side, how does that compare to domestic, though? It must be easy,
So
right?
this is where I will say with domestic guys, they have got some things harder because when you're working on a domestic boiler in someone's house, you've got to be more intrinsic with draining and being just more cautious that you don't make a mess. Whereas in commercial, if I'm working in a plant room, which is a big boiler room, and we've got the boilers and there's a fault in one of them or I'm taking one out, a lot of them are like a tanked floor. It's a room that's been tanked with like a sort of compound and it'll have a drain in there. You could just fill the water up to the tank's level about that high, so you could flood the whole room and it would just go down the drain. So you can literally, when we're draining stuff, sometimes we'll go to a drain, but there's times when we're just lazy and we just dump it on the floor and just brush it into the drain. Say you've got a leak on the pump set and it's dripping, it's just in a tanked room, so it's not as important. Anything out of there is a bit different, but with domestic you've got to be more careful and it's a bit more skilled doing certain things on a smaller environment. There's a lot of skill in a domestic as well as commercial. I've actually grown to start really enjoying domestic and liking it now. Because commercial's more, if I'm getting a heating fault, I might get called out somewhere and it's something electrical, whereas usually when you're getting like a heating call out with domestic, it's always actually something properly wrong with the boiler. There is jobs where you go there and it's just like a filling loop or something we haven't got it turned on, but the majority of heating calls I get is more gas related, whereas the heating calls that I get in the commercial side of it isn't all, I reckon only 20% of them are gas, where the other 80% is something like an electrical fault or a pump just hasn't turned on, or there's a AHU on a roof where a fan hasn't kicked in and it's not blowing the heat into the building and stuff like that. So they're really different. There's a lot more variation in commercial, but diving more into the gas in domestic, which is good.